I think we need a little bit of a reality check when it comes to fitness. People, the fitness industry wants to shove this idealistic image down your throat. And we all know this, we see it all the time. And I think this is why the fitness industry in general is failed so many people. What I mean by failure is that even though it's maybe more and more mainstream over the past couple of decades, people are only getting in worse and worse shape because it throws down this idealistic image of the human body that, although is beautiful, it really truly is. The perfectly proportioned, well muscled, super low body fat human body is a thing to behold, for sure, male or female. However, only a very, very small percentage of the human population is even capable of looking like that. Okay, that's just the reality. Now, that's not to say that everybody can have a strong, healthy, athletic physique or body, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely, just about 99% of the human population, if they're willing to put in some work, watch their diet a little bit, can be much healthier, much more physically capable than they are now. But looking like a professional bodybuilder or a professional fitness model, look, there's a reason you don't see those people walking around in general population every day. Or if you just go down to your mall or wherever, even in places where fitness is a much more bigger deal, like San Diego or Miami, you don't see people at that level. That level does take a certain level of natural ability in genetics. I'll take a look at myself. I am a very good natural athlete. So I am strong, I am muscular, but I don't have that perfectly tan, chiseled, midsection that's so often put on a pedestal by the fitness industry. And that's not really something I work for. What I work for, especially at my age, at 48, is physical capability. What am I able to do? The big thing I'm starting to work on right now that I've gotten a lot stronger and a lot better shape over this last year, is I'm starting to work a lot more on handstands, because that's always something I thought was really cool to do, and it does take a lot of strength and a decent amount of mobility and flexibility, surprisingly. If you really get into how to train handstands properly, it does take quite a bit of all-around fitness to do them. But that's also just a goal that I wanted, because I've always wanted to be able to do them. But the thing is, I'm pretty tall. I'm well over 6 feet tall. I'm well over 200 pounds. And for someone my size, handstands are pretty tough. You don't see a lot of guys well over 6 feet tall doing decent handstands. Now, I can kick up against a wall, no problem. And I can hold it for a while, for about a minute maybe, until my shoulders start getting really tired. But freestanding is a freestanding handstand. Maybe just kick up and hold a handstand without any kind of support or balance aids or whatever. I can't do that, at least not for very long. Maybe a couple seconds. Maybe if I find that balance point, I can hold it for 3 to 5 seconds at the most. But being good at them, no. And that's not something I've worked on really ever in my life. I've kind of done them here and there when I used to coach gymnastics back in my mid-30s. So quite a while ago, over 10 years. Yeah, I kind of got a little bit better at them, but that wasn't my strong suit. The reason I was a gymnastics coach was because I was a big guy. I was pretty strong. I was working as a professional flying trapeze artist at the time, and I met the owner of the gymnastics school, and they invited me down and said, "Hey, you'd be pretty good. We can teach you how to spot. We can teach you how to teach the basics, beginner level gymnastics, which you'd be great at." And I was pretty good at it. And I didn't teach competitive gymnastics, because that's a whole, much more advanced skill and much more advanced, deeper level of experience and expertise to coach competitive gymnastics. But beginner gymnastics, anybody who's physically capable all around can teach that if they really learn how to do it properly. And it doesn't take that long, because when it comes to beginner gymnastics, it's not that complex. It is difficult, but it's not hard to learn. So let's get back on topic. Um, I think a lot of people that go into these fitness programs thinking they're going to come out 90 days later looking like a professional gymnast or competitive gymnast, because that's probably the body type that's so often, like I said earlier, put on a pedestal by the fitness industry. If you look at what the fitness, especially for the ideal male physique, the ideal male physique is something that looks often like a competitive gymnast. And you can train that way. I know how to train in beginner level basic gymnastics. That's the foundation of how I train. And that does give me a very strong, athletic, physically capable body. But I don't look like a competitive gymnast. I look very strong, look very muscular in my regular clothes, but I'm not super duper jacked. I don't have near the body weight strength of a competitive gymnast who's been training since they were 3 years old, because that's what it takes to get to that level. You have to start training very, very young, and you literally have to grow into that kind of strengths with your tendons and ligaments. So I guess the point I'm making is, look, it's well worth it. Everybody should be doing some kind of physical training to better themselves, without a doubt, 100%. And not enough people do, and it's kind of sad. And I think maybe one of the big reasons is because people see these just completely ridiculous bodies that are completely blown out of proportion. Take a professional bodybuilder, for instance. Professional bodybuilders work for years to get to that level. Not to mention, they have incredible genetics, an incredible work ethic. The training they have to do is super intense. Even people who say, well, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. Yeah, good luck. Even if you want to look like a bodybuilder, good luck. Because you have to have the right combination of genetics, work ethic. You got to put in that work for years, at least probably a decade, 5 years minimum for someone who's just has the craziest genetics on the planet, like 0.00001% of the human population. So there's probably only less than 100,000 people total on the planet, far less than that can even have a prayer of getting anywhere near professional bodybuilder physique. And let's not forget, you're going to have a pretty expensive supplementation program. A lot of those guys spend well into the six figures on supplements, to say the least. But that being said, they have a work ethic and genetics that is unmatched by 99.99999% of the human population. So we all need to work out. We all need to take better care of our health, and we all need to do whatever we can to find the time to get some good exercise. And I recommend, like I said, I do mostly I would say what I do is mostly just gymnastics, basic gymnastics, beginner level for adults at home. That's the foundation of what I do. I also go to the gym. I go to the gym 4 to 6 days a week and lift some weights, old school bodybuilding. And that's kind of the combination, because what I've found, that's the best for me. And it's not a combination I found a lot of people doing, even though I think it would be very, very great. Anyways, I think that's, I've been rambling enough for now. We'll talk to you all next time later. Bye.